Well, it's 6:01, so we might as well get started. Um, just make sure I bring up my screen here. Here we go. Okay, so welcome everybody. We're having our meeting today on the unceded territories of the Sishat and Hupachesit people. It's funny. I was on a Zoom call all day with a union group that I'm in, Federation of Post-Secondary Educators. So it's all of the colleges around the province, and everybody, whenever they needed to speak, they would introduce themselves and introduce what territory they were speaking from. And I learned a lot of different names of territories and peoples today. There's a lot of different people out there, a lot of different territories. So it was really cool. Um, just to start, approval of the agenda, or is there any additions or subtractions or anything for it? And I guess we'll ask for a mover and a seconder.
I move that we accept the agenda.
And I will second that, I guess. Well, there's only a few of us. Hi, Helen.
Hello, hello, Helen.
Hi,
Hello.
evening everyone.
All right. Seeing no additions or changes to the agenda, I'll assume, unless I hear otherwise, that it is approved. Any objections? Okay. There is the minutes at the bottom of the page, and just in case anyone doesn't have the link, I will put it in the chat. So there's the link to the agenda and minutes. So they're there, as well as the link to the YouTube video. And thank you again for doing that so efficiently, Char. It's really great. Um, so approval of the minutes. Motion to approve.
So moved.
And I'll second that. Any changes or anything anybody sees? Just look at them if you like. And not hearing any objections, we'll say that that is passed. Okay, so unfinished business, current topics. The only thing I had in here was the Climate Action Network, which was from an email that just appeared in our inboxes um, from
Yesterday.
yesterday, Lily Ma Sen. And she was looking for sort of a connection. She's from Transition Souk, it sounds like, but she is also working with the Coast Climate Action Network, and the abbreviation is WECAN. West Coast Climate Action Network, sorry, WECAN, and previously known as the BC Climate Emergency Network. So she was just looking for a link up with either our group or Alberni Climate Action Group or both or whichever. So I've agreed to be an information passing point and liaison for that. So if they have anything coming out of their network that they want to pass on to us, then I'll take that on. But it sounds like it's just a sort of a large group that is forming around um, climate action in BC to support various actions going on around the
Well, this
province.
is part of the Guy Dauncey thing that
Is it
couple
part
of
of the
months.
Guidance?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I didn't
But it's
see it
not
with.
strictly speaking his baby. It's a province-wide group. So
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so that was good. And she also, being part of Transition Towns, she sort of reached out to see if we wanted to get together as a transition town sort of network at another time, and we certainly thought that that would be a good thing. So we might do that in the fullness of time when we can all gather together again. But seemed like a good connection to make. So that's all there. I didn't have anything else under unfinished business or anything. Anyone have any comments about that or anything that I'm forgetting? Okay. I don't think we have any upcoming events. I couldn't think of any. Not any. I actually, speaking of events, though, I did watch with this FPSE um, meeting this week, AGM this week. Our keynote speaker was last night, and it was Seth Klein, um, who just released his book, A Good War, I think it's called. So that was really interesting. Um, but it was cool because it was not just our university group, because we're sort of the group of small colleges and universities, but we opened it up to all of the various universities, so UBC and SFU and all of them. All of faculty were all invited to hear him speak. So I think they said that there were around 1,000 people on the webinar, which was quite a lot for anything that I've been involved in the past little while. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't think we have any events coming up in town, do we, Dan?
I don't believe so. I think we just need to plan for next month's meeting. I think maybe sending John a reminder that he should take his mother out on Thursday.
Yes.
You know.
Well,
Oh, I know what we do have, but yeah, Edna, go.
well, I was just going to say that the Fall Fair is going to be virtual again. And as you've read, the National Award was won. It's September 11th and 12th. And the Food Hub Committee met yesterday, and this was on our agenda to talk about taking part, which we didn't do last time. However, the meeting was quite fulsome, and so we never got to that. But we will discuss it on our next meeting. And I'm wondering if Transition Towns wants to consider doing something with it too.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it was kind of it was a horrendous thing to think of last
Yeah.
time around, just because it was so crazy. But I think we're all kind of used to the virtual thing a little bit now. So yeah, I think transition towns could have a place. We've certainly been there for long enough. It was strange not being involved at all last year.
It was, and apparently it's free, according to Anna Lewis, to do it virtually. And I thought what I would do is just research it a bit online and with Ann Siddle and find out what's involved. And then I can just report back if you like.
Sure.
Great. See what we can do with that.
Okay.
If we could put that on the agenda for next meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Awesome.
But I feel strongly that we should be part of it.
Yeah.
Let's be out there in front of people's faces.
And speaking of being out there, I do remember that this month is cycle or go by bike week coming up. I guess it's the last week of May into the first week of June.
I think it starts on the 31st, which is a week from Monday.
Yeah. So that is coming. I haven't heard anything from John lately on that, but maybe I'll poke him and see.
Well, there was a very detailed email that arrived in my box today because we had registered for it.
Okay.
So if you haven't had a chance to look at that, you probably, if you're registered, you'll get a notice. There was a reminder to register followed by an information about it if you were registered.
Oh, good. Okay. Well, that'll probably come up then too.
And I think we still have a registered team. So, and it seems to me that they were saying in that email that all rides count. So you could start riding now and start racking up the virtual miles or whatever it is that you do, and log them on the Go By Bike site.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I'll
that's
be
great.
doing that.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. Um, good. So I think that's everything for kind of eventsy type things. I noticed you had sent around a link, Dan, to. I'm trying to remember what it was called. This morning you sent. Where is it? Oh no, it was you sent the report transition
From the
EDI report.
transition
I
bounce
thought there was
forward.
something else that you had sent.
Well, yeah, and I don't see it around anywhere. So I just actually put the education committee in the chat. It's a link to a movie that comes to us via Films for Action.
Oh, okay.
It's available
Yeah,
on
you
YouTube.
sent that to the list. Where did it go?
Well, I don't know.
Well, that's funny. Oh, you know what? I know what happened. I replied back to you. You didn't send it to the list. You sent it to the AV Transition Towns at gmail.com, which is the main it was my email address. I actually replied to you,
I got that. And I assumed that that's what happened is that you got it but you replied to
but it
me
didn't
and
actually go to the list.
so it
I
didn't
didn't.
go to the list. Well,
No.
then I'll send it to the list because it was quite an interesting sort of early afternoon, late morning, early afternoon session.
Cool.
And of course, aside from the fact that they're all English, well, not all, but the preponderance of the people in the Zoom meetings are English,
Yes.
and the initiatives generally take place in England. There is a lot of really, really interesting stuff going on there, and a lot of discussions that they're having that I think are quite germane to what we're attempting to do here as well, and especially stuff that revolves around Rob Hopkins' what if to, or sorry, what is to what if to what is, the role of imagination and the idea of imagining a future and conveying that vision and engaging people in creating that vision. So particularly from the standpoint of an education committee, why it's neat stuff.
Cool.
So I'll
Oh,
post that on the website and Facebook page.
okay. I'm just gonna back up and oh, you know what? I'll do it in a second. So, food group.
Yes, well, I just did send those minutes, as I say.
Yeah,
If it's okay to just mention a couple of things that you
sure.
might not have seen. This grant, which the ACRD applied for $300,000 over 3 years to focus on having more push from rural and small farmers with the provincial government to kind of make a better interface. Well, one thing that came out of that for the food hub was that part of the grant will involve doubling our funding each year for 3 years for us and for West Coast, because as you know, we each get half of 15,000. So now all three of us will get 15,000. We have to decide how we'll deal with that. So that's one thing. And the McConnell Foundation final payment has come. Now, I didn't put that into the minutes that went to transition towns, okay?
Okay.
Just went to the food group and I told them to hang on to it. All right. So that's looked after. And I should just mention on Saturday that the Garden Starter Pack turnout went very well. Fewer packs than last time, but a couple of good things. One was it was beautifully sunny, not pouring rain like last year. Secondly, everything got taken away. And the part of the farm to school grant, which went to EJ Dunn, they used part of that to buy 5 super packs for their school garden. So that was good. And a lot of other plants and things were given to the low cost housing through the Mortons. So it was a really good event, and they're going to meet soon and they'll talk about how to bump it up for next year. I think there's more PR needs to happen and a different kind of PR, but it went very well. I think that's probably it, other than the fact that Rob is looking for help with gleaning. So we're looking at a possible federal 50% wage help for a gleaning helper. It has to be a young person, somebody under 30, but it can be an NGO who is not charitable organization. So we may be asked to support that.
Okay.
That's about it. You can read the minutes for anything else. I think that's it.
Great. Awesome. That is good. Um, so we've already talked about Go by Bike, so we'll skip over Cycle Alberni. I don't think there's anything else there. The Alberni Climate Action Group. I haven't had a chance to sort of keep up with what's going on. I saw there was lots of email going back and forth. Dan, do you have any ideas what or
Hang on just one sec here. Nothing very specific. I think, they're still trying to follow up on that, the Zoom into the high school, talking to students about climate change.
Oh, did you do that?
I did that.
How was it?
It was okay, except that there was like, I was there on the screen and I could see some students, but Megan Chase was the one who directed the queries to me. And the kids didn't get a lot of chance to interact. And so I left feeling as though, I had talked too much and they hadn't talked enough. And part of it was the format. And of course, it's a big conversation and there's a lot to say. And so I'm hoping that there will be at least a few contacts that come out of that, and that we'll be able to start up some kind of a youth group, that they'll be able to start their group. And if they want to ask us for resources or guidance or whatever, that they can do so, but that it has to be their game.
Yeah.
Not a bunch of old fogies telling them what they have to do.
Yes. Okay. Well, that's good. I'll just mention I got an email last week from a fellow named he just Sam. I just see he didn't put in his last name. So Sam, and he is a community energy coach with Better Homes BC. And he sent me an email, and I would have sent it to the group, but it sort of ended up in a back and forth and things. But so I'll just sort of I'll read out a little bit of what he said. He said, "I'm touching base on behalf of Clean BC Community Energy Coach and the available resources and support." Support for the Alberni Transition Town Society in the promotion of energy efficiency upgrades and heat pumps to local residents throughout the community. So he says we can offer a variety of resources relevant to engage community members and homeowners to access rebates and things. So his website is right there, and I'm just clicking on it, but it's not going anywhere. So let me.
That's the BC Hydro Initiative, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so, because I signed up to
Yeah.
get their tips and whatnot, and they send me tips that relate to things I don't have. I don't have a dishwasher. I don't have a air conditioning. I'm saying, guys, back off. But anyway, I mean, it's a good, but I think it's a BC Hydro Initiative, I think.
Oh, it's it's a partnership between Government of BC, Government of Canada, BC Hydro, and Fortis. So
Yeah, they're all together, right? Yeah.
yeah. So I put the link up in the chat, and I did say that I think the city still has rebates for heat pumps and things. So I mentioned that to him. But yeah, so that's a place if we want to reach out to him and maybe set up either a Zoom. He offered a Zoom, or if we could get face to face at some point, he could come and do kind of a, um, how to get all of the rebates that are coming to you kind of session.
Well, the website,
So,
which you can enter through either Fortis or Hydro, is really quite good. It's easy to follow. It's very, very clear.
mhm.
So even if people just know about that to check out for themselves, it would be handy.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So that was good. That was a good kind of connection with him. He just reached out of the blue. Um, okay, so Plastics Group Ocean Friendly Community, it is going strong. So I'm working with someone else in the group to contact a couple businesses that we're going to work with to potentially help them use, well, restaurants, I should say, to help them switch from plastic takeout things and things like that to compostable uh, items. So that work's ongoing, and there's, I believe, there should be something coming out from them very soon about, or from the aquarium, about a cleanup on uh, not this Friday, I think next Friday. They want to organize an event and encourage people to go and clean up beaches and streams and things. So you'll probably see that in the not too distant future. But yeah, it's a very dynamic little group and lots of stuff going on. So it's pretty cool. Um, Watershed Protection. I actually got a call from Jane Morton yesterday, and she she's great. She said her and Mike really wanted to kind of get back into advocating for our watershed and stuff, and they're looking at revamping the website that she had started on a year or so ago before the pandemic. So she's working on that, and yeah, she seems engaged in that again. So that's cool. Um, so I said if I have some back end website access to those things and stuff, so I'm going to be helping her to get that all going again. But yeah, so that seems to be moving along again, which is cool. Um, but other than that, I don't think there's anything else. Do you have anything else for watershed stuff, Edna?
No, I don't. I accept, as I told you before, I believe that Southern Valley Alliance gave their money to Jane to help her get on with it. And we'll stand behind Watershed Forest Alliance, who have not yet formally joined the Vancouver Island Water Watch Coalition, but we hope they will, because the next thing coming up has been started by the people in Cedar, Chemainus, Ladysmith area called Save Our Watersheds, and it'll be a big campaign which probably is going to take off in the fall rather than the summer.
Yeah.
Some of the people involved in it have had personal and health problems, and it kind of went quiet for a while.
Okay.
So I just monitor that, and I'm hoping eventually Jane will take my spot on that board, but who knows?
Great. That is excellent. Now I am just looking for Rob's email because he did email us the financials.
I think that went out to the list, so we've all seen it.
It did, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
I was going to read it off, but for some reason I can't find it on here. Wow, that's okay. Yeah, so it's in the list. So that should be all good. And thank you, Dan, for taking the checkbook and getting that done at Hool. I was disappointed. It went up to the credit union and they weren't able to get that done, but that's okay. All good. Do you know when the checks will be in? Did the
She
deal
said
say?
probably 8 to 10 business days.
Okay.
So that's
couple
2
weeks.
weeks.
Okay. Yeah, because I think
Um,
Rob is, there's only a couple checks left, so I think Rob is
There
good.
are.
Yeah.
I thought of that as she took one of the checks to
Oh, did
photocopy
she?
it. Yes. But she
Right.
did stamp void all over it and crossed out the signatures on the photocopy. So you still have it, or did you take it back to Rob?
I still have it.
There are 2 checks there.
Okay. Cool.
And
Yeah,
if you need
so
me to go get them when they come in, I'll do that.
no, it should be fine.
Okay.
I was in a wall-to-wall Zoom this week, so but that is done. Done for now. Great. Well, I don't think there's anything else. Anything you guys have? Okay.
Does Helen have anything to add or
Nothing
comment?
to add at this point. Just
Okay.
listening along and
Cool.
hearing what you guys have to say. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, thanks for tuning in, Helen.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Well, I guess I'll ask if we can adjourn the meeting. Need a motion to do so.
I'll second that.
Okay. Perfect.
What do you think, Helen? Adjourn?
Let's adjourn.
You probably had enough meetings, right, in your life. Actually, if the business is completed, you don't even have to move it. You can just say the business is completed.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I do that with the Maritime Heritage all the time. Just all business concluded, the meeting was adjourned at. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
See, I knew you could move it and you didn't have to vote or anything, but
No, you don't even need a seconder either to
Oh.
adjourn. But it's easier just to say, hey, we don't have anything more to talk about. Let's go.
Beautiful. I like that.
Anyway, but I'll
use
leave
that.
Dan in there. I'll leave Dan in there.
And
Okay.
thank you, Char, for kicking out the Zoom bombers. And
Yeah.
Another fun month. It's always good to see you guys. I always get a smile at everything that's going on. Even though none of us are leaving home, there's so much being accomplished. It's great.
well, it certainly it gives you a taste of the idea of being back at your physical place and dialing up a drink and sitting down at a table and hashing things out. So,
That'll be way nicer. I'm looking forward to that cider in the nice big glass.
Yes.
well, also, I like to have Paulson there.
Yeah.
Add
Well,
something.
Well, that's one thing I meant to say that, we decided last month that the food hub group could meet outside at Janice's place. And so Rob was there, and it was so nice to have him. I couldn't attend myself, but everybody just went on and on about it. And now his work time has changed. So instead of being available at 4, he's not going to be available till after supper. So, and it's really hard to get everybody there because Hélène Dufour likes to come during her work time, and anyway, we're going to try a test meeting at 6:30 p.m. next time, outdoors, because we really want Rob to be there. It's tough without him, isn't it?
Yeah, I miss him.
Yeah. Well, we keep telling him that, but then he goes and gets a change in his work hours.
I think he wore out his boots.
Pardon me?
Wore out his boots.
Wore out his boots, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I saw him when he gave the checkbook there last week. I saw him and we talked outside for half an hour.
Yeah.
And that was good. But yeah, soon. I'm
Say?
vaccinated. I think are all of you all?
Once anyway, yeah.
He's got one. Yeah.
So we have to we're all hanging on Bonnie Henry's every word next Wednesday. She's going to speak, and we're hoping. But I guess it might take another while afterward, I guess. I'm just so wanting to see my family.
Well,
not just see them, I want to hug them.
Yeah, exactly.
I think there's a press conference tomorrow, right?
Is there? Okay.
I think it's supposed to start.
I think they're addressing the indoor dining ban, but
Oh, are they? Oh.
yeah.
Well, do you know what time that is, Helen?
I think it's at 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
We were
Does
super
this-
excited today because they announced that the registration was open for everybody over 12. So
Over 12. Oh,
both
wow. Okay.
both the kids were like, "Sweet!" and they got on their phone and registered, and so they're all registered.
Well, I'm
get a
booked
vaccine.
in for Monday.
Oh, good,
Awesome.
good.
Athletic Hall. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sign off because I've been on Zoom too much today.
Yeah, you must be just absolutely fried. It's really hard.
It's a lot.
It's really a lot. Yeah.
All righty.
Okay.
Nice to see
Okay,
you
good
all.
night.
Yeah. Take care. Thank you,
Bye.
Char.
Char, thanks,
Thank you.
Char.
Good night.